This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. What's going on, freaks? Yep, freakazoids. A little bit tired because I was up so late last night on Act 2 of the Freaks show. The Freak Show. There you go. There you go. Is that what this is? A freak show? You know, I don't know if there's going to get a lot of notifications out there because I accidentally set it to channel members only to begin with, and then I went, oh shit, and then I switched it back to public, but I'm not sure what YouTube does with that. Oh, too late, you know, too late, everybody. It's Kevin Brown. Yeah. Well, I think some people got them. I don't know. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, well. No big deal. Oh, really? Okay. Well, I switched it as quick as I could, about 45 minutes ago, back to public, but... Anyways, I'm just gonna go get started. Why not, huh? Yeah, there's a whole bunch. There's even more. This was just for Des Moines area, I guess, apparently. Thank you, Jessica Schubach. All right, we have an update in, you know, even though it's small, in the Melissa Peskey case. See, that one bothers me a lot because I think it's kind of obvious who the killer is. I mean, I guess I don't know for sure, but, you know, it's always seemed to be pretty obvious. I mean, I know who my suspect would be, but they've increased the reward to $75,000. Hey, thanks, Lindau. The family of an ex-Northwest Iowa woman hoped an increase in the... Oh, well, she's from Iowa, too. Jesus. Increase in the amount of reward money would help lead to a break in the case of her mysterious death. However...
Start the show with a donation. Cal, Alien, Flying Saucer, love you all.
Thank you, Linda Howell, as in Linda Molden Howe of the Cattle Mutilations and Crop Circles. So it says, however, that has yet to happen at the 2-year anniversary of the Central Missouri murder of former. See, the lame part about it is it seems like Missouri's taking the lead because she was killed in Missouri. I mean, I know that that's kind of how you normally do things like that, but she was in a domestic violence situation. She was being she was very scared for her life and her kid's life. She told friends that, and she actually, her husband had like PTSD, was coming back from the military, and she left. She was on her way to get away. Hey, thanks, LM, as in Element Open. Yeah, and she had fear for her life, and she was leaving her husband and took off. I think it was a couple days after he was around or something. And then on that very drive to go to wherever she's going, about 300 or 400 miles from her home, she gets shot in the head from through the driver window into her head. It's a very simple shot. That's why I thought it was similar to the case in what was it, Nashville recently with the nurse. But in this case, it was one shot. There was 2 kids in the back of the car, and the car drifted over and sort of stopped on an embankment. And she actually had told a friend, I've got the interview, and she told that friend that if she ever ends up dying by a gunshot, it's going to be her husband. Okay? And she's escaping her husband. And then on that very drive, he gets shot. You sort of wonder, now he might have an alibi, and if he does, it makes it harder. But no matter what, my opinion is that her death was caused by someone related to, at least him. Okay? That's my opinion, just based on the information that we have. I think that she was killed, whether or not somebody was hired, a hitman, given the coordinates. I don't know if you guys remember. Let me show you some of the newer people. Probably haven't seen the. Yeah, so I've got it all mapped out here. So this is where they lived in Iowa here. And then she took, let me get down to where she was actually found. Way down here. She was actually heading east to, I think it wasn't it North Carolina or South Carolina? I can't remember exactly where she was heading, but look at this section. Whoever shot her picked a 20-mile long, virtually perfect straightaway. And look how easy it would be. You're sort of in this desolate area. There's hardly any buildings here and there. I mean, it's just not a lot, right? It's very unpopulated. And then you drive, and you drive right up next to the car on this highway here. And let's just see what it would look like looking down. See how that's just a long, long straightaway? You could literally just hold the wheel with your left hand, keep it absolutely still, roll down your passenger window, and just aim your gun straight through and boom, shoot through your passenger window, right into the window. It'd be a very simple shot. She'd only be about 7 or 8 feet away at the time, and it hit her in the head. And it's just a very long straightaway. You wouldn't do something like that on a section where there was curves or anything. So to me, it makes it seem more likely, definitely not road rage or anything like that. And then I guess her car was found across the median over here, kind of on the side over here. But she crossed through and broke through the little wire. Let me see if we can see that. Yeah, see how there's this little wire right here? She went through that and kind of ended up over here. And her 2 kids were sleeping in the car at the time, apparently, and then they they were just fine. So whoever shot him didn't give two shits about the kids in the car. Yeah. So, I don't know if you guys have time. You should go back and watch some of the Melissa Peskey shows that I did, because I have a audio tape. I talked to one of the family members on one of them, and then also on another one, a friend of hers, and the friend actually knew the person who dressed her at the funeral home and was able to tell us where the bullet entered her head and everything. So it was pretty, it was right on the left side of the head, and it was just absolutely makes total sense that somebody drove up right next to her, shot through the window. All right? Okay. And what's weird is, how come this case isn't like as popular as some of these other ones that are out there? We talked about it for a long time, but nobody else talked about it. Not one other YouTuber, as far as I can remember. And it was very interesting. I mean, she was a realtor in her town. There's all kinds of interesting aspects to it, and I just thought it was kind of strange. Well, I'm not going all the way. Well, I guess I kind of did a recap of it, Zozo, but I'm not really. I'm just doing an update that there was $75,000 reward now in it. Sometimes a reward, I guess. I used to be really anti-reward making any difference, but apparently, it worked in the, ironically, it worked in the nurse shooting case on the highway, which I always thought, at the time, I thought it sounded similar to this one, but it's obviously not even close. And, the one way this wasn't road rage, in my opinion, is that there's only one shot. This person knew exactly what they're doing. Her husband was in the military. Was he friends with somebody else in the military that was a good shot that could just easily make this shot? We don't know. But I just want to ask you guys, what do you think the odds are that somebody fleeing for their life, who told people that if I get shot, it'll be my husband, and then fleeing for her life, driving down a highway on that very trip that she's fleeing for her life from her husband, she gets shot in the head, okay, and it not being the husband? I think it's like 1 in a million that it's not. You see? I like to do the odds things. I don't have the, the actual stats of it and everything, but I can just tell you, when I just hear that, it makes it, to me, it feels like there's almost no way that it's not the husband. It's just mind-bogglingly, it seems really obvious to me. But, sometimes things that seem obvious aren't true. Apparently he has a decent alibi for where he was. At least that's what I heard originally. I just think that is, he may very well have one. But remember, it was kind of odd, like he didn't answer the phone. We'd have to go back and look into that again. But he didn't immediately answer the phone or something. Then he called in. He's almost like he was pleased to let everybody, hey, look, my phone's pinging in this area. Yeah, no, she knew it. She actually told her friend all the details. It was, he seemed like he didn't care at all about the kids even, and she was very worried about them. And, like, I guess apparently, well, I don't want to say it. Maybe the kid's watching. Because it's far away from your home, Susie B. That's why. What kind of a question is that? You drive down the... it's just so obvious, You get somebody to do it 400 or 500 miles away from your home, and you want to make it far enough where you could be at home and call back in and go, see everybody? No, I couldn't have done it. I'd have to be able to drive 150 miles an hour. Huh? What are you talking about, LM? I don't get it. Thanks, Alley Cake. Oh, about the kid. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're a little older now. They're what, a couple of years old now. A couple of years older. But it's always the Missouri State Police. They keep saying, "Oh yeah, we're following, we're doing this and we're doing that," and it's I don't know. Unless you're hanging out in the town she's from, then you're not in the right place, in my opinion. But you know, I could be totally wrong. I always say that now after that one case with the baby that was cut from the woman's belly, and the lady pretended it was hers. Okay, didn't see that one coming. Thank you, Alley Cake. All right. Okay, now here's something that reminded me of another case. What was the name of that case where the MMA fighter, you remember that one? Who killed his ex-girlfriend and another guy, and then they went and caught them? Do you remember that one? No, it's just you, Crystal. I think you have a really poor internet. Do you guys remember that one? I can't remember the name of him, but he escaped from. Remember one of the individuals. He escaped. Well, not one of the individuals. The individual, Cedric. No, his name is Cedric something or other. Right, Cedric Mark. Right, is that his name? Cedric Marks. I think that's what. Let me see if I can find that. I just remembered that in my head. Oh, there he is. Cedric Joseph Marks, right there. Okay. And it's a Michael Swearingen case. Yeah. Well, what was interesting was, you remember how they went to a McDonald's and then he escaped from the car and then hid in the garbage can? Now, usually my memory's horrible. I don't know why that popped into my head. It was a miracle, I guess. But you remember they were at a freaking McDonald's, for God's sakes. All right? And the guy, he gets out of the car, and I said, how about this? You don't stop at McDonald's if you're driving prisoners in a vehicle. All right. Well, look at this thing.
Company that was taking the
it's the same damn story. It's like
it was a private transportation
same
company
thing.
That was taking the 22-year-old murder suspect from Texas to Lake County.
It's even the same deal.
For trial, and the transportation company came to this McDonald's here. This is where it all happened, at the drive-through here, and surveillance video captured the escape. This is video of Leon Taylor jumping out of the van and taking off running. The driver was not able to catch him. The Lake County Sheriff's Office provided a couple of different angles. Taylor is wanted on a murder charge out of East Chicago and marijuana.
Oh, yeah, he's at the damn drive-through, for
Sheriff
God's sake.
Ready Transportation, the company moving Taylor, should have had him in shackles.
Yeah.
They also say Taylor was manipulating the leg brace meant to keep him from running,
yeah,
and he did it enough to disable it. The Sheriff's Office also says the driver told them Taylor jumped out of a window, which the video clearly shows did not happen. Taylor was wearing a gray hoodie with
He's opened the door. You didn't even lock the damn door, you idiot.
Sneakers and black jeans. He is 6 foot and 162 pounds, has hazel eyes and brown hair. Now, right now, Lake County Sheriff's Department as well as Gary Police continue their search for Taylor here this morning. They are looking for
I know the other one was a private driver
that can
too.
Get him back into custody.
We
are live in
Gary,
I'm Eric Run, WGN News.
Look at, didn't you learn from the other one? When you're transporting a prisoner, don't stop at McDonald's, for God's sakes. Well, hey, you know what? At least this guy stayed in the car with the van at the time. We'll give him credit for that. You know, the other case, they got out of the car to go get the burgers. Okay, now we're going to go back. Remember the one we talked about? I think it was, I don't remember if it was last night or the night before. But missing Texas student who went off track on holiday drive home. And, you know, it was kind of cool because they said exactly the same stuff that we were saying when we were looking at the show. Let's see. His name is Jason Landry. There it is right there. All right, so remember it was the yeah, it was right here at the Salt Flat Road, and then he drove from a town up here, and it was perfectly, he was on the right route, basically. He was supposed to come through this town of Luling here, and then continue on Highway 10 all the way into Houston. And so, but they find his car on this road, which is totally off track after making it into this town. You sort of wonder if he stopped at get something to eat, or get some gas or something, and then something happened to him, and then that led to the car being over here. The car ended up crashing. It looked like it was totaled, but he was missing from the vehicle. All right, so here we go. The search for a missing Texas student has intensified as family members say Jason Landry did not take a direct route while driving home from school for holidays, and investigators searched an oil field near the gravel road where Landry's totaled car was found on Monday. As Crime Online previously reported, this is Crime Online, a passerby spotted the damaged vehicle on Salt Flat Road in Luling, about 30 minutes drive from Texas State University campus, shortly after midnight. And, I think it gets pretty cold in Texas this time of year around midnight, right? It's going to be very cold. On Sunday, Landry had begun the drive to his family's home near Houston, about 160 miles away. Relatives told Fox 7 News that Landry's car was found on a road that indicates he made a possible wrong turn somewhere early in the drive. No. Well, unless you're saying, the only reason you would say that, if you say made a wrong turn early in the drive, would be if his car was heading south on that road. But if he's on that road, I would just have a hard time believing anybody could make that mistake. I mean, it is interesting. Let me just see something. Here's what is interesting about that. He's taking Highway 80 right here. And right off of Highway 80, if you just kept going straight on Highway 80, so here's Highway 80 right there, and it keeps going right here, and then if you just took it to the end and you didn't notice any of the signs, you just would have kept driving like that, and you'd be on Salt Flat Road. So that actually kind of makes a lot of sense now that you think about it. So let's say it's at night, you're not really paying attention, you're on Highway 80, and you're not really making a wrong turn because you didn't notice that you were supposed to turn. Okay, so this is what you would have been doing. You just would have been driving like this, and you would have gone through. You just might not have been paying attention. You might have seen that sign there that said 10, and assumed, okay, it's straight ahead, and you just kept driving. And I think this ends up staying on that road. So it's dark outside, he's driving his car, and I think right at the end, it just makes its own natural turn. Let me just go up in the air, follow it down a little bit just to speed it up. I'll go to right there, and this is what it would have looked like to him driving the vehicle. And then right here, then he stopped and just kept going straight through this. And then this puts you on that crazy road, right? And now you're on that road, and it's Salt Flat Road. And then somewhere on this road, he crashed his vehicle. But they're saying the same thing, like we saw on the show, that, whoa, he took he shouldn't be on that road. A Google Maps shows that Salt Flat Road is, see, they even have the route. It's exactly the same as what we were talking about. Here's Highway 80, and then Salt Flat Road goes there, but he meant to continue on to 10. And see, isn't that interesting that a minute ago I just showed you where it said, it looked like it might have been like 10 this way. So let's go back to that, whatever that spot was. I think it was this intersection right here. And let's see what that looks like. So you're driving, and just at night, you might have just gone through, you might have missed that sign, or you just kind of glanced at it and thought it was just straight ahead. Especially, you know, that angle, it almost gets blocked by that other sign. And then you just kept on going. What are you talking about, Raina? What does that mean? What does that even mean at all? It's just such a weird comment. But what does it even mean? Wrenches only. What does that mean? Yeah, I think I thought I turned it on, but I guess I didn't. Let me try it again. See, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if... I don't know what you're talking about, though. There's other people that are typing that aren't blue. You see that? What does that even mean, Chris Stone? Are you guys trolling right now? Because it had absolutely nothing to do with the show whatsoever. So what does it have to do with anything? Does anybody understand the comment? Wrenches only? I mean, there's a whole bunch of comments in between that are white, green. Well, I'm not talking to you, Chris Stone, so if you're going to be an idiot, get out, all right? Thanks. There was a person up above, Raina, who just says, wrenches only? You know, it's ludicrous. There's a whole bunch of other people typing. No, it doesn't mean... I know what they mean, mods only, but what does that mean? Do you understand that? Well, that's the only comment they made, though, is what I'm trying to tell you. I just want to know what that meant. Wrenches only? Yeah, I do have a lot of wrenches given out. Yep, that's true. But as you can see, there was some green, some white, you know. Like Darlene, she's not a wrench. Just don't worry about it, Steve. I wasn't even talking to you, though. Or you're Chris Stone or whatever. Okay. Yeah. How about don't type then? You know what I mean? Like you're just going to come in and go, wrenches only? You know, it's just boom. You know, I almost feel like hitting the Pac-Man. Yeah, the Pac-Man death sound. It's just, it's insane. And look at that. Oh my God, look at members only. I mean, look at, oh, well, no, there was a white one there. And then, okay, it's just unbelievable. Yeah, I wasn't talking to you though, Stevie. It was the other person above. Did you miss their comments? It was Raina, not you. Apprehensive. Yeah, probably, Chris. Probably. It's better just to, like, when somebody makes a comment like that, you guys figure out what the hell they're talking about. Oh, you did, Joshua? Have you not been wearing your mask and hanging out with other people in bars? What's it like so far? Yeah, you know, or a complete sentence where I know what they're talking about. It's just, God, I can't stand it. I deal with the money through maybe. You deal with money through maybe? I don't know what that means. Oh, you deal with money. You think you got it from money? I don't know. If you're in a crowded place indoors with a bunch of people for a while, and you don't have an N95 mask, you have a good chance of getting it anyways. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a big money causes corona. If you just wash your hands and all that kind of stuff. It's more what it is droplets in the air, and if you have just a cloth mask or the standard one that nurses have where you just put it on to stop you from spreading droplets, you can easily get the virus from somebody if you're in an enclosed area. You have to have an N95 mask basically to guarantee that you wouldn't get something like that. But that sucks. But the cool part is you're young. You'll go right through it like a rock star. Yeah, well, there you go. See, the people that go in there without their masks on, and then you wearing yours, it doesn't protect anybody at that point. Every single person has to be wearing a mask to stop the spreading going around. You could have one person in a room coughing it up. The other 10 people have the cloth masks on, and they'll have a very good chance of all getting the coronavirus at that point. Because the one person didn't do it. I haven't seen a soul in any store in months where I live that didn't have a mask on their face. Hey, look at that. It's Dottie-O Caspian Horses Rock. How's it going? Yeah. Anyway, sorry for the getting sidetracked there. But don't you guys think that might be what he did, was just drove through that intersection, kept going forward, and eventually just kind of got lost, I guess. Yeah. Yep, you'll be fine. It's nothing. Especially for young people. It's actually less dangerous than the flu per capita on younger people. Thank you, Rebecca Green. Appreciate it. Yeah, then I don't know. Well, you can't go into a store at that point, Aria. And here's the thing, Aria. If you have breathing problems, then don't go into a store. You'd actually be almost foolish to have a comorbidity like that and go into a store without a mask on. At that point, you're gonna have to get somebody else to help you out. Don't you guys agree with that? I mean, my God, if you have really bad breathing problems, if you get the virus, you're one of the people that's in a really dangerous situation. So you shouldn't be going to stores anyways.
Love your show, Gray.
Yeah. I just think maybe he doesn't know this town really well. It's late at night. He's driving. He gets right to this end here, and he turns, and he's driving. But I don't know. Something just seems a little different than that. Something doesn't feel right about it. Let me get this back open again here. Hey, thanks, Linda Howell. Who has at least an area told Fox 7 News that it would be easy for someone unfamiliar with the area to lose their way and get stuck in an oil field That is now the primary focus of the search. A lot of old wells, saltwater disposal, old well. I know, but you found his car. So do you guys think that maybe, I guess maybe he might have been disoriented after the accident? Let's see if we can find some of these oil wells that they're talking about. Yeah, I guess we don't know exactly where the car crashed either. Hey, thanks, Ronnie. And Claudia Neubauer. Huh. That almost looks like oil, right? I mean, it's just so gross looking. Look at that thing right there. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, well, that's basically the update. The update is they think about what we thought on the show the other night.
Love the show. Thanks for covering Awa.
Hey, Streamlabs, it's not Iwa. It's not Iwa. Okay, as a matter of fact, there's an O in there. Oh, what did you think of the first show, Jamie? Thanks, Michelle Nicholas. What did you think of the show? My first Nefarious episode. Huh? What does Cambers have to do with this? I think people just come in and type random stuff in. You know, it's hilarious. You know. Yeah, I mean, do you think let me just ask this. I just want an honest thing. You can tell me the truth though. The way I sound, does it sound, do I sound like somebody that could be doing those or what? I know it's a script, but I thought it sounded okay. I mean, for me, I hear myself, so it's hard for me to know, but even hearing myself, I thought it was okay. The one that Stacy wrote here is, I just finished reading that one, and so I'll be making that'll be the next video. That'll be on the Tina Losser case. You guys all, most of you remember that one. Yeah, but we're not talking about Chambers, though, John N. Thee. Who's referring to Jessica Chambers? What is this guy talking about? Did somebody bring up Jessica Chambers? Oh, you mean on the video from like a year ago that I already realized that and typed it in the comments? God, what an idiot. Hey, go do something else, buddy. See you later. Wow, what a fool. I mean, somebody shows up 2-3 years after you make a video and tells you, and just with a stupid comment. Oh my God, another troll. Wow. Well, I just saw it. Well, did you look at the date of the video? Thanks, Brianna Probst. Actually, I'll leave him in here. I mean, what a clown, though, right? My God, who does that? Yeah, it's the video's over 2 years old. Okay, John Anthony. I don't know what you're doing. You show up to a show and go, hey, it's all, like I don't really care right now. We've already fixed all that. I'm not going to take off the video for the state being wrong when it wasn't even about that. It was about how dumb the jury was. Okay? And now, if the state was a big part of the story, I would
Love the
have
Nefarious episode. Excited
deleted
for
the
more
video
good
and
work.
uploaded a new one.
No distractions there.
Yeah, it's true, Brianna. It's just straight up video. What do you mean, give it up, YouTube showed it today? What do you mean, YouTube showed it today? You're so dumb. It's just, God. Here, I'll do it right now. Hold on. Give it up. YouTube showed it today. There. Here it was right here.
All right, I'm going to
Okay.
talk to you today about a verdict
Yeah.
in a case.
Yeah, right there. Okay.
And it's not even about.
You want to see? You want to
the
see something?
result.
You want to see something crazy, everybody? Look at right here. What does this thing say? Yeah. Hold on a second. Right. You see right up at the top here? It even says correction. The murder was in Mississippi. The murder of Jessica Chambers' verdict, the downward spiral of intelligence. And Johnny fit right into that one. Okay, but look at the date here. Almost 3 years ago, or over 3 years ago. Do you see this right here? Over 3 years ago is when that video was put out. So this Johnny, the genius, he comes in here and has no clue what in the hell he's talking about. Okay? He just thought he'd be really cool, like he was this sleuthy guy that could come in and really get us on top of the information really quick, even though none of us were talking about this case at all. That was 3 years ago, all right? This is the video where the jury was so stupid, they couldn't figure out not the jury, the foreman was an idiot. It was unbelievable. Subject mattered? No, it had nothing to do with it. Yeah, Jesus. So obvious. I'm not sure why what did Joshua say that was wrong? I need to give it up, Gray. I think he was being sarcastic or something. Well, that's good for you, John Anthony, but you came in here acting a fool, okay? So let's just be honest there, all right? All right, cool. Because it had absolutely nothing to do with what we were talking about. All right. What's going on? What's the deal tonight with these weirdos coming in? They just type a sentence in that has nothing to do with anything that we're talking about. It was a little bit. No, it wasn't bad like that. It was just a. It's just how. No, this night started off great. Okay, that was your one chance there, John Anthony. You're the only one that acted like an ass. You're now gone from the channel. Good luck, though. Really appreciate it. Good stuff. Hey, JKs. Nah, wasn't quite as wasn't like that
Fuzzy,
last
is this
night.
how last night started?
I don't really get what's going on here, but yeah. It's bizarre. Don't worry about it, Stevie. I'm just saying, do you understand? Does everybody get what just happened right there? A video that's 3 years old. A guy comes in and goes, "Hey, it's Mississippi." And I'm like, okay, what are you talking about? Chambers, Mississippi. Okay, yeah, you're right. And then I realize, oh, that's right. That's the video that I made a mistake on 3 years ago. And then I go back over there and I show him that the video was 3 years old. And he goes, YouTube showed it to me today. God, it's unreal, man. It almost feels like it's a plan, like these people literally sit around. How can I do this? What should I say today? Oh, here's one. Yeah. Yeah, what Jay wrote was pretty sweet. I don't mean like sweet, like a girl would say sweet. I mean like, you know, sweet, man. Although a woman might say that was sweet. No, but it's. I think people that like that deserve that. It's weird, you know. Like your whole goal was to come in and sort of try to discredit somebody, right? And I even have a big warning label. Hey, everybody, it's supposed to, you know, I got it wrong. Because it had nothing to do with why I made the video. The video, it wasn't even a video about the Chambers case, really. It was really just about how the jury came back and he said, not guilty. And then they pulled the jury and they go, no, I didn't say he wasn't guilty. So they went back to the jury room after they were all confused with, what do you mean? I thought you decided. The foreman's the only one, basically, who thought that that the person was not guilty. Oh, well, it was 9-3, I think. Guilty. So there was 9 guilty, 3 not guilty, and he just came in and said, oh, not guilty. And they did it twice. They even came back another time and did the same thing again. It was just, it was scary, actually. And then it turns out it became a mistrial. Hey, how's everything going, Jamie? I sent you an email yesterday. Yeah. All right. Well, that was the update on that. I think there's this. I had never followed this case here, but it was sort of interesting. Arrest made in 2016 cold case murder.
Update today on a murder cold case that's gone unsolved for almost 4 years. The Washington County, Tennessee Sheriff's Office today said that on Christmas Eve 2016, a fisherman found a woman's body along Watauga River near Herb Hodge Road. The body was later identified as Keila Gilbert Taylor. A news release shows DNA found at the scene matched a recently entered offender submission from Virginia.
Thank you, Claudia Neubauer.
And that offender is allegedly 31-year-old Zephyrin Parker. Investigators now say Parker was arrested in Asheville, North Carolina, where he was homeless. And now he's being held in the Buncombe County, North Carolina jail, awaiting extradition.
You know what this case sounded like? I don't know if you guys are going to be able to remember it because I can't remember it either. But I might be able to throw out a couple words that you might remember. Description. It was a case where there was a blonde girl. She went to like a store to get some fishing stuff. She went fishing on her own. And she was killed down by this boat ramp. And her body was found. I was actually kind of almost thinking it was the same story, but the name didn't sound right, and it turns out it wasn't the correct story. Yeah, it might have been. I don't remember what state it was in. Hey, thanks Kevin Brown and Una of a Kind. Well, Kevin, you're going to have to battle Claudia Neubauer, who always puts that in there too. Dun, dun, dun. Una of a Kind. Hey, it's good to see you back, though, Una of a Kind. Couldn't stay away from the freaks that long, right? Yeah, it was. I did an update about a few months back, and then way before that, it was about a year ago. Does anybody remember that one? Yeah, it's hard to remember it. It was a cold case. I was in part of a list that I went through. Yeah. Hey, look at that. There's Dario Caspian Horses Rock with her cute little stickers that she always puts. Yeah, she went fishing, and then then they found her body in the water. Wish I could remember that one. We'll have to try to. If anybody can remember, let me know. This kind of reminded me of that. On Christmas Eve 2016, the body of Keila Marie Gilbert Taylor was found by fishermen along the river near Herb Hodge Road. Thank you, Tracy. According to the release, DNA found at the scene, which is interesting. What does that mean? Like, maybe a semen or something. Has been found to match Parker from a recently entered offender submission from Virginia. So he was in CODIS. Parker was located in Asheville. According to his sheriff's office, he was found to be homeless. So this guy was just out on the streets. Yeah, jeez, it's crazy. And that was the last sighting of her right there in a store. Fishermen found a woman's body along Watauga River. Washington County Sheriff's Office investigators said Wednesday a cold case murder from Christmas Eve 2016 may have been committed by a North Carolina man. And that's because his DNA matched after it was put into CODIS. Okay, good. There we go. We're all updated on the news portion of the show. Well, good, una of a kind. Especially the way I say your name, right? Una of a kind. like a German sounding. Yep, they got him. All right, so now we're gonna go back to do some more Iowa cases, right? Or I guess you wouldn't know, so when I say right with a question mark at the end, you wouldn't know the answer to it. But yes, that's what we'll be doing. All right, this first one is Karen Ann Christensen and Larry Gordon Wells, who was the cousin of Karen Ann Christensen. They were murdered on August 26, 1975. And here's how the stories began in the news here. Left, 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 right, left. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Iowa Bureau of Criminal Investigation agents have been called in to aid in the investigation of a badly burned body discovered Monday in a pickup truck near Lake McBride. So I think it's in this area. This is Lake McBride right here. Let me just type in Lake McBride just so you know. So it's right there. That's Lake McBride. I'm sort of assuming that. Oh, that's interesting now. That does look like that's cut off. But I wonder if they're kind of making, like, all of this is part of that. Even though it looks like a river there. That looks like maybe this is part of the lake too. And the reason I'm saying that is because it says US 218. And that's the highway that goes, I think it goes like this. And then up. And it says it was Highway 218 near the... Oh, now I got lost. Yeah, right there. Near the lake. So if 218's right there, I don't know how it could be right over there. So I'm just kind of guessing that it's the same... It's considered the same thing. Because this definitely isn't 218 over here. And it's not. There's not even a highway that goes by there, really. So I'm just guessing that it was around in this area, or it could have easily been on this side. Let's go back to even 1990. Let's see what the difference is. Yeah. See, these are neighborhoods now. This whole area. Maybe that was a camping ground. That's what it was. It was a camping ground with a burnt pickup truck in it, with a body in it. The Johnson County Sheriff's Office said 2 motorcyclists found the body near a camping area not far from US 218 near the lake. There, let me just make sure again. US 218. Yeah, see, it's right there. I mean, that's 218, and it says near the lake, and it doesn't make it over here, so it's got to be right in this area, right? Johnson County Sheriff Gary. Yeah, look at this name right here, by the way. Do you guys see that one? Hey, I didn't do it on purpose. But hell, that's even what you guys call me sometimes. Gary Hughes. Crazy, huh? What are the odds? You probably would have went, hey, look, your name's in there. Johnson County Sheriff Gary Hughes said the 2 found the body about 11 a.m. while trail riding. They told Hughes that they'd seen the truck last Friday in the area, but did not think to look into it until today. All right. Burn body found in truck. Another article at the same time. And by the way, my diploma from college said Gary on it. And I saw it as I got it in my hand, was walking across the stage, and then I did a U-turn. Thank God they spelled my name right all those years. And yet they graduated me not even knowing how to spell my own name. They fixed it for me, though, and made it Gary. I actually did a U-turn on the other side of the stage and handed it back, and then a few weeks later they got me the right one. Gary! Okay, so anyway, burned body found in truck. A badly burned body was discovered in the front seat of a pickup truck in the Coralville Reservoir area Monday. Johnson County Sheriff Gary Hughes. What's going on here? Hold on a second. Almost seems like somebody's... What time is it? Okay. The heck? What's all this? Oh. Okay. Mom was just saying that their landline is dead for some reason. I don't know if that's good. How would that happen? I hope somebody didn't cut the line. Okay, anyways, a badly burned body was discovered in the front seat of a pickup truck in the Coralville Reservoir area Monday. Oh, let's see. Is that a different name? Let's try to do that one. Yeah, so now it's a reservoir. Okay. Coralville Reservoir. Oh, yeah. So now it makes a little bit more sense now, because now this is going to be part of the reservoir. All right, cool. Johnson County Sheriff Gary Hughes said 2 motorcyclists reported finding the body Monday morning, but said they had seen the truck parked in the wooded area last Friday. The Bureau of Criminal Investigation was called into the case Monday afternoon, and the area where the truck was found has been cordoned off. Okay, now the victims are identified. There was 2 people in the car burned. Tentative identifications have been made of 2 persons whose badly burned bodies were found Monday near North Liberty, authorities said Wednesday. but their names are being withheld pending confirmation of their identities through dental records, said Dr. Victor Edwards, Deputy Johnson County Medical Examiner. Lance Hughes. I'm just kidding. Doesn't say that. The bodies were found Monday in a burned-up pickup truck parked in a camping area near US 218, about 10 miles north of here, and they apparently had been there for several days. Although officials would not discuss whether the bizarre deaths were homicides, the joint investigation by the Iowa Bureau of Criminal Investigation, the Fire Marshal's Office, and the Johnson County Sheriff's Department has been similar to a murder probe. Authorities have declined to disclose the cause of death, and it is believed autopsies performed Tuesday were inconclusive. Sheriff Gary Hughes said it may be 2 weeks before a complete autopsy report is available. Identification of the victims, at least one of whom believed to be from Buena Vista County in northwest Iowa, is expected to be released this morning. Okay, so right now they're starting to give out the names. Karen Ann Christensen, 28, a former media specialist at Coolidge Elementary School in Cedar Rapids, had been identified as the second victim of a mysterious blaze which destroyed a pickup truck north of Marina 218. Well, let's see where that is. See, now they're getting more specific. Okay, it's probably not there anymore. I wouldn't be, it's a marina, so it's got to be right there. I wonder if it's right there or something. Yeah, right here maybe? Johnson County authorities Friday confirmed that the dental records provided. Okay, the other victim identified Thursday as Larry Gordon Wells, 25, Marathon, was Miss Christensen's first cousin and lifelong friend. So it's her first cousin, and so I think that would mean a oh, Chloe's going nuts over here. She's crazy. The other victim identified Thursday as Larry Gordon Wells, 25, of Marathon, was Miss Christensen's first cousin and lifelong friend. Johnson County Sheriff Gary Hughes said Friday Wells also was identified through dental records after Iowa Bureau of Criminal Investigation agents traced him through registration records for his truck. Here, hold on one second. Let's see what happens. We unhide that guy. See if he can be nice now. Positive identification of both victims was made by Dr. Clayton Shala. Born August 27th, 47, Miss Christensen was employed. She was 27 years old at the Coolidge School from 1969 until May 1974, when she took a leave of absence for personal reasons. She asked to be released from her teaching contract May 9th, 1975. Acquaintances in Cedar Rapids termed her a nice gal and a good teacher. She did a good job. Becky Pusey, a teacher at Coolidge and close friend, said Miss Christensen hadn't been working the last year. She said she had seen Miss Christensen and Wells August 1st while they were camping in Coralville. So sounds like maybe they were even camping in that same area, right? You take it off? What happened? What happened, una of a kind? I don't get it. Do I now have to stop and see what's going on? I have no clue what's going on now. New ranch, okay, genius, the babies, oh brother. That's Claudia Newbarrow's. I don't know. I'm confused again. Oh, jeez, again. I thought everything was cool. That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes I just want to like only have 2 or 3 people that even have them at this point. It's getting really childish, to be honest with you. It's, you know, I don't know. Okay, well, just don't let it bother you, una of a kind. There's hardly anything different. Really. The only thing that's different is they can block somebody. So if you don't think of it like that, or they can put somebody on timeout, is it really... Okay, well, I mean, don't get so offended by it, una of a kind. You know, it's just not really... No, I don't understand what you meant, Raina, because that's not what we were talking about at the beginning. That had nothing to do with it. So when you pop back in and try to see, your comment made absolutely no sense. You said only wrenches or whatever the hell you typed in, and it's like, what do you mean? There's blue, there's green, there's white ones. Yeah, well, it doesn't. But you could tell that there weren't only wrenches, right, Raina, just by looking. Because you were commenting, and there was people that are green that were commenting, and other people that have the normal grayed out tone, and it was pretty obvious, right? You just didn't like that there was so many of them. And see, now look at what just happened right now. Because of the whole whining thing again, the whole show gets off track again. We've got trolls like Raina who come in and make comments that are totally unrelated to what we're talking about. And, you know, just to draw attention to themselves, okay? I just want to go over these cases. I'm actually getting really tired of it, you know? It's getting stupid. Yeah, just like Raina, you know? With a little lol, stupid-ass comment. Yeah, well, Raina, you came into the show, and you made a stupid comment that nobody even knew what it meant, because it absolutely didn't even make any sense. And now, a few minutes later, you're going, see? Why don't you type in a full sentence next time? Wow, I see a lot of moderators in here. Something like that. Then I'd say, yep, there's a lot of moderators. No, they didn't know what you meant, Raina. They all had to guess. Okay? Yeah, but the thing is, I don't have that as many live watchers, Claudia, nor, I don't know, I'm in a weird algorithm deal with YouTube at the moment because of the... People don't believe me, but it's true. It's like, I was in that when my account had the problem. They hid all my videos from everybody on purpose because they thought maybe my account was hacked. And then when they put it back on, it didn't have the same energy, basically. Yep, there's the dogs. Good night, Ronnie. Yeah, I thought you were just I didn't even remember what you were upset about, una of a kind. And then all of a sudden it looks like it bothered you again, you know? It's just, why not just keep it to yourself? All right? I'm just telling you. I know that's one of the problems though, when you have extra moderators and people go, well, how come I'm not one? You know, and then it gets kind of weird. Yeah, it didn't say wrenches everywhere. It said wrenches only with a question mark, as if they're the only ones allowed to talk or something. Yeah, it didn't say what you just typed in, Billy Boy Blue. Yeah, and it matters. Yeah, well, nobody says that, Univakine. Nobody thought you were worthless to anybody. You know, and saying that isn't gonna make me go, gosh, Univakine, you are. Listen, here's the... we all appreciate you being here and commenting and supporting the channel. I don't understand what you're, you know... Yeah, I feel like I'm in, like, this is like 3rd grade or something right now. It's really weird. I mean, I was just totally doing my show. I look down and I see that there's people getting upset again. Right, Boxer Girl. There you go. Yeah, get one, find it, and throw it. I know, it's really ridiculous. But I feel like I've got to... Yeah. All right. Where are we at here? So far we've got a pickup truck with 2 people found burned in it, Mrs. Christensen and her cousin. So it was actually Larry Gordon Wells and Karen Ann Christensen. She's 28, he was 25.
Sorry, great disrespectful some people.
Good eye, mate. Yeah, well, maybe that's why Williams and Brano became one, Zozo. You get what I'm saying?
Your chat dramaing, talking, and mods are very much like 3rd grade. I agree.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's kind of, you know, I can't argue with that. It's just sort of this weird thing, you know. Even though you're like, God, that's a mean thing to say. Well, what he just said was right, though, because everybody's going back and forth. I don't really understand it. I don't get it. I know. I just want to do the case here. Hold on. I'm going to press this button and we're resetting. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, not one more mention about who's a moderator or not. And as a matter of fact, I don't even want you, if you want to time somebody out that's really crazy, go ahead. But I don't want you removing anybody. I'll see that you time somebody out. I'll read what they said. And if I want them out of here, I'll do it. Okay? Thank you. All right, here we go. Movements unknown. Sheriff Hughes said the 2 were last seen together in Marathon. Okay, where's Marathon? Marathon, Iowa. I bet it's not far. Well, it is far away. So that's Marathon right there. What the hell are they doing over there? Thanks, Adriar. What the hell are they over there? So they were in Marathon either late August 22nd or early the following morning. Their movements can be traced between August 23rd, can't be traced, between August 23rd and the last time their badly charred bodies were found in a scorched pickup truck Monday. Hey, thanks, Alley Cake. Hughes said, let's see, we are begging for help from the public. Man, that's That's pretty early to be, we're begging the public already. Anyone who saw anything unusual in the area of Marina 218 on those dates, or their pickup truck, a greenish-blue 1965 Chevrolet, is urged to contact the sheriff's office. He said early indications are the two probably died either late August 25th or early the following day. Since there was a week interval before the bodies were found, that seems kind of odd, right? Nobody noticed a fire or a charred vehicle in a camping ground. I guess it's winter, And they were so badly charred, he added. Almost everything depends on the autopsy reports, the state fire marshal office, and whatever help we get. Miss Pusey told the Gazette Miss Christensen and Wells were remodeling a house which he inherited in Marathon. Okay, that was that town. Miss Christensen had been planning to return to work this fall, according to Miss Pusey. Dr. Victor Edwards, Deputy Johnson County Medical Examiner, said complete autopsy results were not expected for several weeks. Body tissue has been sent to a state laboratory for analysis. Under the direction of the BCI, Edwards declined to comment on whether there were visible signs of violence on either body. County authorities have not determined whether foul play was a factor in the deaths. Really? Johnson County authorities were called to a camping area south of Marina 218 Monday when two motorcyclists from Cedar Rapids and Marion reported seeing what appeared to be a body in a pickup truck. In the process of removing one body, authorities discovered the second. That almost sounds like the other body, when you're in a pickup truck, you're just right there. It almost seems like they were stacked or something. The cyclist said they had seen the pickup at the same location Friday, but paid little attention to it. When they returned Monday, it was still there. They summoned authorities. Okay. Warren Stump, Assistant Director of Iowa Bureau of Criminal Investigation, said today it may be as long as 2 weeks before investigators can piece together the cause of death of the persons whose bodies were found September 1st in a burned-out pickup truck near the Coralville Reservoir. Stump said the charred condition of the bodies, when found, made microscopic analysis of the remains particularly difficult. In this kind of case, it's rougher than a cob to positively determine the cause of death, he said. He's like, okay, a corn cob, the outside, they're pretty rough, yeah. The charred bodies of Larry Gordon Wells, 25, of Marathon, and his first cousin, 25, of Marathon, and his first cousin, Karen Ann Christensen, 28, of Cedar Rapids, were discovered in Wells's burned-out pickup truck by two trailer-riding motorcyclists. The cyclists said they first noticed the truck on August 29th, but hadn't looked into it until about 11 a.m. September 1st. The truck was parked in a field adjacent to a quarry. Man, I wish I knew where that marina was. Let me just check something really fast. It's Longview Reservoir there. Yeah. It's got to be right around here, though. Because it was a quarry. It said Marina 218. Let me see if it exists on Google somewhere. Yeah, I just don't think it's called Marina 218 anymore. So, I mean, this is a long time ago, 1975. The truck was parked in a field adjacent to a quarry and a trash dump near Marina 218 along the Coralville Reservoir. The cyclists originally reported finding only one body, but investigators later determined the skeletal remains found inside the truck were those of 2 persons. Oh, maybe it was just they were so burnt that they couldn't tell at first. Wells' body was identified Thursday by dental records obtained after a check on the truck's registration. The State Fire Marshal Wilbur Johnson said today his investigators have not completed their report on the origin of the and cause of the blaze based on an examination of the truck. Actually, let me see that part again. What were they just saying right there? Johnson, medical examiner, had estimated the couple died late August 25th or early 26th. Okay. And here is actually a picture of them right here. Authorities today released these photographs of 2 persons whose charred bodies were found in a burned out pickup truck near the Coralville Reservoir September 1st. The bodies of Karen Ann Christensen of Cedar Rapids and Larry Gordon Wells of Marathon were found by trail riding motorcyclists near a quarry north of Marina 218. Authorities believe the couple may have been dead since August 25th. Anyone having information regarding their activities prior to that time is asked to contact Johnson County Sheriff Gary D. Hughes. Let's see. Yeah. Are we still God. What does that mean, we mean? That's exactly what we mean. Yeah, I'm just saying I don't want to keep talking about it anymore. But let me just say this. If you come in here and you haven't made a comment at all, try to type in a full sentence so that people that haven't learned girl code yet, like me, I'm still learning. Eventually I'll learn it. I can't figure out something with just one word. You know, it's like, you know, the show that was on TV, the game called Name That Tune? Well, girl code is the same thing for women who are able to decipher a very complex meaning using one word or something like that, right? So it's like, oogla boogla. Oh, okay, yes, I'll be there tomorrow. Whoa, how in the hell did you do that, right? So for me, when I read a sentence that just comes in and says, you know, something like, oh, so that was the day before that one, or whatever the hell it is. I don't know what you're talking about, okay? I wasn't following along with your comment. So the thing is come in, type a full sentence in, and then people will know exactly what you're talking about. And then later on, you can start shortening it up as I learn the girl code, which we actually have for this channel, an emoji specifically for that, because I can't do it. I'm still learning. I'm not good at it. All right, so that's all I'm asking people to do in the future is just when you come in, just yeah, I could see that she was having a go up there. You know, she's just doing the same old crap. But just how about you guys just ignore each other, okay? How about that? Doesn't that sound like a good way to do it? I mean, I was just covering the case, and I looked over, and now we're done. We're off of it again because I've got to keep my own chat under control. Amazingly. All right, here we go. Authorities believe the couple may have been dead since August 25th. Anyone having information regarding their activities prior to that time is asked to contact Sheriff Gary D. Hughes. All right, and then about, I don't know, a week after that, 9 days, something like that. Hey, thanks, Cindy Lynn. Yeah, but hey, Raina, why did you have to type that in right there? Okay, we're gonna have to put you on timeout now, unfortunately. Okay, because I just told you not to keep going, and there you go again. So, if you can come back and start talking about the case, everything will be fine. And thank you. Yes, I appreciate it, but you know, if you are gonna ignore each other, you don't need to try to get your last dig in. Okay, so what this is like is, you know, when you're a kid and you're in the car and your mom says, "Hey, quit hitting each other." And then one of the kids goes, "Okay," and then goes, yeah, that's what you just did. It's childish. So, anyways, I'm gonna get on. It's crazy. Okay. Labor Day fire, no accident. So here we go. Now we've got, finally in October, about a month after they were found, we've got the. Yeah, here we go. You like that sound effect? Well, it's more like this. All right. Johnson County Sheriff Gary Hughes Thursday eliminated accident as the cause of a blaze which badly charred 2 bodies discovered Labor Day in the camping area near the Coralville Reservoir. The bodies of Karen Ann Christensen, 28, formerly of Cedar Rapids, and her cousin Larry Gordon Wells, 25, of Marathon, were found in a burned-out pickup truck. A representative of the state fire marshal's office told the Gazette the fire which destroyed the pickup was definitely incendiary in origin. Incendiary. Let's see. In declining further comment, however, the special agent in the fire marshal's firearm, arson, and explosive enforcement division stopped short of placing responsibility for the fire. He indicated, however, that the fire was fed by flammable liquid spread over the surface of the pickup. Oh, like gasoline or something. Sheriff Hughes said, "We have assumed all along, on the basis of the evidence, the deaths either were the result of a double murder, double suicide, or murder-suicide." He also said part of the investigation, it didn't sound like there'd be a suicide, they just had a house that they were fixing up. Part of the investigation has centered around the possibility the deaths might be drug-related. The fire investigator asked that he not be identified, but said it is not up to our office to speculate on the cause of deaths of the occupants of the trucks. Our investigation centered on the cause of the fire. He also refused to comment on significance of other possible evidence found at the scene. Preliminary reports of the results of the fire marshal investigation have been sent. So it doesn't sound like we're going to get to maybe in this final write-up here on the site here. Let's see what it says. On motorcycle, okay. On Labor Day, while resting near the truck, they looked in, saw what they believed to be one body in the pickup cab section. A deputy called to the scene, said the bodies were so badly charred it was not until they started removing what they thought was one body that they realized there were 2. Officials traced the pickup truck to Larry Wells. An investigator in the case said the extent of the fire and the amount of damage done to the bodies was inconsistent with the amount of inflammables usually found in a truck of that type. The gas cap had been removed from the pickup. Ooh, there's something new. So somebody probably, I don't know, siphoned the gas out. And gas had been used to accelerate the fire. So that was right. Matches were discovered in the pickup's bed. Huh. Well, you know, you wonder if they were strangled to death. And, you know, either they could have even been stabbed to death. You know that? You just don't know. For example, if their throats were cut, a fire and their bodies were completely burned down to the bone, you wouldn't know that. Right? So they could have been killed, then water dumped, I mean not water, gasoline dumped all inside the truck, then all over the top of it, then somebody lit a match and threw the matches inside. This story makes you smile there, Daniel? Yeah, I mean, you can also tell somebody stabbed sometimes if it's through the ribs or if it hits bone, there might be a little notch on there. Ah, Jesus, man. No, I was looking at the Zozo one. Look at that thing with the tears. Oh, okay. Hey, thanks, Linda Howell. Let's see. Files kept close at hand. In early 2012, the Iowa Police Department sent 4 investigators to cold case training. One of those 4, police investigator David Gonzalez, was credited in November 2013 for his work on Francis Bloomfield. Officials say no matter how, you know. So anyways, this case isn't solved. It sounds about as cold as you can get, right? I mean, you've got... Who's even a suspect at all? In this
Night
case.
love you great and all the freaks. Cal, flying saucer, alien, corn.
Yeah. Thank you, Linda Howell. As in Linda Molden Howell of the Cattle Mutilations and Crop Circles. Well, hey, thanks for joining there. I just can't see any of the comments. They go by so fast, I don't know what's going on. Especially when I see a name that I don't know. I always wonder what they're doing. Okay, I'm moving on to the next one. Hopefully we can get through this next one without any drama or any kind of craziness. Because now I'm sort of on this pins and needles thing where everything I see looks like something. Nona 617. All right, the next one is a guy named Tommy Lee McConkey. And, you know, he was a political character. He, you know, he's down here at the bottom. He was like a representative in the state. And so this is just one of the pictures of him. When I think in this one he's only 27 or 8, something like that. Thanks, Elaine Tolling. And then right here it says Altoona man dies of gunshot wound. Tommy McConkey, 38, Altoona, died today in a hospital here where he was under treatment for a gunshot wound in the head. Authorities said the victim had been repairing a door on a Des Moines East Side tavern Thursday when an assailant pulled up in a car, fired at him, and drove off. It sort of makes you wonder if he was some kind of a... Hello, honey hush. And thanks for joining, Daniel Hurd. Sorry for my paranoia after the night of trolldom. Yeah, that's a crazy one. Let's see. Yeah, so he's repairing. I have it on the map here. Let me get to this. Tommy Lee McConkey. He kind of looks a little bit like Leonardo DiCaprio or some shit. You know, it's like, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Or somebody else, some other actor. I don't know who he looks like, but that guy right there, Tommy Lee McConkey. No, I'm not live, G. Perry. I just knew that you were going to show up to my channel, and then made a whole video about it. And I knew that you'd come on at exactly this time, and so it's weird. Right now, you probably think it is live because I was able to respond to you, but yeah. Okay, so man fatally wounded. Tommy, this is actually prior to the other one. He was fatally wounded, died Friday in a hospital. He was under treatment for a gunshot wound to the head. And let me go to the location here. So apparently it was a tavern right here, and I think it almost looks like that's still there. That looks like about the shape of that building looks like the general era. You know, let me see if I can get the street view to work here. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That could be... It's hard to say. That shape is... Like, they could have remodeled it and became something else, but it was right there. It was a tavern at one point. I don't know. That might just be a new building. Let me see if we can go back to... how far we can go back and see if it's still... Like, let's go back to 1990. Okay, now see the roof has a look to it. Let's see if it now... Oh yeah, that definitely changed. So, yeah, that building there is a new building. So see that's 1990. That's when it was a tavern. And then if I go to the next one, see that totally different roof shape and everything. Totally different. And, you know, the satellite images get off a little bit as you go, but it's actually in this spot right there. And yeah, totally different. So, okay. So it was in this area, but somebody drove up and shot him right in that area. And a suspect wanted in connection with the fatal shooting last August of Tommy Lee McConkey, 39, of Altoona, was arrested Tuesday night in St. Louis, Missouri. The suspect was identified as George D. Frank, 25, who originally was arrested on routine traffic charges, according to the arresting officers. St. Louis police said Frank had no identification and gave a St. Louis address as his home. He told police he was a native of St. Louis, but had lived in Des Moines for about 6 years. Des Moines police said a murder warrant for Frank's arrest was issued September 3rd, about a week after the fatal shooting of McConkey in a parking lot on Sandy's Lounge at 2929 East University Avenue. He died the next day at a Des Moines hospital. He had suffered a gunshot wound in the left cheek, according to Dr. R.C. Wooders. A former Des Moines resident who was arrested last month. So this article is in December. The last one was November. In St. Louis, Missouri, in connection with the slaying here, has been released from custody, and a murder charge against him is dismissed. George Douglas Frank, 25, now living in St. Louis, was released from the Des Moines City Jail Thursday afternoon when witnesses to the August 27th slaying of Tommy Lee McConkey could not identify Frank in a lineup. McConkey, 39, of Altoona, a self-employed contractor, died of a single small caliber gunshot wound in the head hours after he was shot in the parking lot of Sandy's Lounge. Lieutenant Edgar Harlan, head of the police department's Crimes Against Persons section, said Frank was released on the basis of the lineup results and further investigation. Harlan said Frank was sought originally because a car registered to Frank was seen by witnesses at the scene of the shooting. He told us that he had failed to properly transfer ownership of the vehicle. Okay, well, then, who bought it? And Harlan said Frank's alibi for his whereabouts when Conkey was shot proved to be true. Frank's arrest in St. Louis, November 25th, on a murder warrant, waived extradition. When freed Thursday, he signed a release absolving Des Moines and St. Louis police departments from any liability for his arrest. How does that go? Like, why does somebody have to sign that? Was it, hey, I'll tell you what, we don't think you're it. We'll let you go, but we will only let you go if you sign this document. Because why would somebody even sign that? And I don't know, it's weird. Eliminating Frank as a suspect and talking to him has opened up new directions for us. The lieutenant would not talk about the person to whom Frank had sold his car, saying only that he felt any comment now might jeopardize the investigation. G'day, Jamie McLaughlin. Yep. Got to start getting rid of some of that drama. Yeah. Hello, Beauty for Ashes. The lieutenant would not talk about the person to whom Frank had sold his car. There you go. Saying only that he felt any comment now might jeopardize the investigation. The murder charge against Frank in Polk County Associate District Court was dismissed. It could not be learned Friday morning whether the city would foot the bill for Frank's return trip. Well, they should, And now this is, I guess that's the same thing. Same story there. Just a day later. And then now we're looking at about 3.5 months later. And that's months with a NTSZ. A 37-year-old man was being held by police today for questioning in the August 27th slaying of Tommy Lee McConkey. The suspect was taken into police custody Monday afternoon about 2 p.m., according to attorney James Piazza. I wonder if this is that other person that the car was sold to. You could almost make that inference. The suspect was taken into police custody Monday afternoon about 2 p.m., according to attorney James Piazza, who made an unsuccessful effort to have the man released from police custody late Monday. No charges have been filed as of early today, and police refused to reveal the oh man, that sucks. They wouldn't reveal his name. I could have made a connection if I had that. McConkey, 39, of Altoona, died 29 hours after being shot once in the head with a small caliber gun in the parking lot of Sandy's Lounge. McConkey, a self-employed contractor, was repairing a door at the lounge at the time of the shooting. On November 28, a St. Louis, Missouri man was arrested there on a murder warrant charging him with slaying. The arrest was made because a car registered to the man was seen at the scene of the shooting. So I think the guy that they arrested here was the person who bought that car from him. The original suspect, George Douglas Frank, 25, was cleared of any involvement. Alright, and I think this might be the same. Wait, is this 8? They got the name now? Let's see, hold on. Oh, Larry Agee? There it is. Des Moines police were ordered Tuesday to release Larry Agee. Okay, now we've got the guy's name. So let me try something here. I know something that I was reading on one of the other articles. So Larry Agee. And what is this? We'll do 1976 to 1980, Iowa. That's not a really common name, so can't imagine that being in there more than once. Shoot. Darn it. Thanks, Kobe! Dun, dun, dun. Hey, thanks, Susie Heath. Okay. Tuesday release of Larry Agee, 37, who was jailed Monday and held for questioning in connection with the August 27th slaying. No charge was filed against Agee. District Associate Judge Norman Elliott, following a Tuesday morning hearing, said the police failed to prove their right to hold Agee without a charge. Was booked on Monday afternoon and held. Police said Agee was questioned in connection with the shooting death of Tommy Lee McConkey, a self-employed contractor who was shot in the head with a small caliber gun. Okay, there was a Frank guy. Investigators said they had been seeking Agee for questioning because he's the one that bought the car. I guarantee it. Investigators said they had been seeking Agee for questioning since shortly after Frank's release. So they're kind of implying, I think they're right on the money too. I think that the person that Frank sold the car to was this other individual named Larry Agee. And wow, okay. All right, now this article was crazy. It was the sister of Tommy Lee McConkey, and you actually see her in pictures with one of the other cases that we've talked about. And then down here, I mean, it's just the whole thing goes over McConkey's family and everything. This other McConkey, but then down here it said, on August 27, 1976, her brother, Tommy Lee, 37, a contractor, was shot once in the head in the parking lot outside an East Des Moines tavern where he was repairing a door. He died a short while later in a hospital. Police arrested two men on separate occasions, and I guarantee it, that's exactly what's going on here. Listen to this, though. Des Moines Police Lieutenant Harlan says police have a pretty good idea who the killer is, but have been unable to come up with the evidence to make an arrest. Harlan says the suspect jumped bond and vanished following his arrest for another crime. The investigation of Tommy Lee McConkey's slaying, he says, remains open. Yeah, so I was trying to look up that other individual, Larry... Ah, shit. What was his name again? Larry Agee. And I'm trying to see why, I'm trying to figure out where the hell this is. Let's see. I mean, his name isn't even showing up once. It seems like it would have shown up because it's in that article. Wait, isn't Larry short for something? Or can you, let's see, Larry or... Lawrence, maybe? Is that right? Lawrence Agee? Hey, see, I got it. Boom! I beat you guys. For once. Although maybe from your perspective it wasn't because you have a delay. But. Yeah, for some reason it's not showing up all of a sudden. Let me type Larry in again. Yeah, well. Let's see what's going on here. Now, if this is 1961, he should be about 31 or 32, right? Let's see what this is. They were identified by police as Larry Lee Agee. He's only 22, right? How old was he supposed to? Let me look. So he was 37, 1976. Oh, no. This is 1961. So 15 years. This is him. Oh, my God. So the guy who bought that car is a freaking... I guarantee it this is the guy. Look at this. So it's 1976. He was 37. So... you take 15 off of 37, you got 22, and boom. Look at that right there. Boom! I always like stuff like that. Okay, that's crazy. Okay. Charges of breaking and entering were filed Friday against two Des Moines brothers who were captured Thursday night, while police said they were trying to punch open the safe of a South Side grocery store. They were identified by police as Larry Lee Agee, 22, and it looks like his brother, Kenneth Elmer Agee. Showing that Elmer, I guess, apparently is a common name. Why is she trying to reach me? I'm just trying to do the show. Yeah, well, okay. I have Agee here. You don't need to get... Look, it's right there. See? It doesn't say agree there. It says Agee. Not sure what you're talking about. Wow. They were identified by police as Larry Lee Agee. Okay, police said the pair had used a length of garden hose to lower themselves into the Maury Food Market at 823 Maury Street. Wow, so they used garden hose to lower themselves into the Maury Food Market. I have a feeling this guy's going to show up on other occasions. He's a criminal. 823 Maury Street, and then attempted to pound open a safe. Yeah. The two also admitted 5 other burglaries in Des Moines since January 11th. The Agee brothers detectives said were arrested February 22nd for theft of 70 keys to payphones after a police chase. The case was dismissed. Yeah, I never had agree. What made you think I was typing in agree? It just wasn't showing up because apparently it didn't show up in 1970 something. You know. So that was 1961. Oh, look at looks like there's a marriage here. So this is 71. He should be about 31. Does that make sense? No, it looks like a different middle name. Right? Wasn't it Larry Lee Agee? Yeah, Larry Lee Agee. Yeah, but it was. I never had agree in there, so it matters. Let's see, Larry. Let me put Lee in there. Maybe that'll help. I might have said agree out loud because my brain, you know, it gets kind of. Well, look at this one. Larry Lee Agee passed away March 16, 2011 in Oakdale, Iowa. He was born September 8, 1938, which that's the same guy, in Des Moines. Larry was employed as a union painter most of his life. Larry is survived by his son, Ronald, daughters Chris, Lindsay, and Julie, and several grandchildren. He was preceded in death by Father Dean Agee. Hell, I'm almost saying agree every time now. My brain's whacked out. I bet you I did say agree. That's funny. Anyways, so... Well, what's this one here? November... Oh, this is a different one. Wow. See, this might be what I was looking for here. Ah, look at this. A Des Moines man awaiting trial on a robbery charge has filed a lawsuit in U.S. District Court claiming he was beaten by Des Moines and Polk County Jail personnel after his arrest. Larry Lee Agee. I mean, this is crazy because look at this one right here. Larry Lee Agee right here is 37, and he was the guy, they arrested him and then let him go, right? Well, here he is again, literally the same year, but let's see. So this was February 1976, and this is November 1976. Wow, this guy's getting kind of interesting all of a sudden. Larry Lee Agee, 38, said in a handwritten lawsuit that when he was arrested September 2nd, which is not the same incident, by Des Moines police officers, he was struck on the back of the head. Well, maybe you should have been because you're such a career criminal. Agee, almost said agree again, who is charged with robbery with aggravation, is free on a $2,000 bond. Thanks, Brianna Propst. Am I saying that right, or is it Probst? Don't know. Records show Agee had been free on a Department of Court Services bond prior to September 2nd, when District Judge James Donato ordered Agee picked up after he allegedly threatened someone who was not identified. Oh, now we've got a sort of a violent... You know, instead of just being a robbery person, burglar, whatever the hell he was, he threatens somebody. And it sounds like he was already out on another charge of some kind. Agee later was transferred to the Polk County Jail where he claimed he was again beaten, but in another strip cell. The lawsuit said that the following day, Agee was placed with other inmates, but was soon returned to a strip cell. In that cell, Agee said he was fed only bread and water for 13 days. I'll just look at it as a diet, okay? He also claimed he was unjustly denied several jail privileges, which were not specified. The way he was treated in the jails violated his constitutional rights, and he's seeking $100,000. So he's also like a grifter, you know. He's trying to. We had another case like that. Remember that guy? Oh yeah, it was the one that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to do. I think it was the. Hold on a second. Randolph case. I think it was that one. Seemed like he just kept having lawsuit after lawsuit. Denied wrongdoing by the county. He said Agee had emotional and psychological problems while at the jail, which required that he be placed in a strip cell. He said officers once had to place Agee under sedation to control his behavior. Wow, so this guy seems like Agee is charged in the July 22nd robbery of the Ellefson drugstore. Here, let's type this in just to get a geographical, you know, maybe start building a little bit of a geographical profile here of this. 1603 East 33rd Street. Right there. Ah, it's not far away at all. Right there. And this is a drugstore, apparently, at the time. Yeah. Oh, look at that. It's right there. Still there. I guarantee it, that's the same one. Looks like it's totally out of business, shut down, that kind of thing. This is from 2015. Might still be open. Looks kind of like the windows are all shut up. But look how close that is to the tavern that the shooting was at. It's only not even a mile. And I think that's interesting. Yeah, drugstore and the tavern. Okay, now let's go see if there's some more stuff. This is him again. 420 of Coralville. Wait, hold on. Cell bars severed, 10 days. So what's going on here? A prisoner who escaped February 29th from the Polk County Jail has told authorities in writing statement that he sawed 2 sets of bars more than a week before the breakout. Not sure what the screen thing is here, but thanks, Zozo. Ford said in his statement, Hildreth reported that the heavy metal screen was not sawed until 2 hours before the escape, which Ford said was delayed until about 6:30 or 7 p.m. when it was dark. Ford 20 of Coralville, Larry Lee Agee 25, let's get his address now. I bet he lives in this area. It just feels like it. 11 Oh, excuse me. 1319 URE Street. Oh yeah, he's right there. Jeez. And this is where Larry Lee Agee lived. I actually think this is the guy. I do. Yep. This is where he lived in 1964. But now you know he knows the area, right? Because he lives right there. I mean, look at that. He lives right there. This is where the tavern is. This is where the drugstore was. Thanks, Billy Boy Blue. I can't tell if that's a joke or... Anyways, I think this just
Great
turned into
stream.
something really interesting
Much
all of a
respect.
sudden.
Much intellect from this YouTube creator.
Well, thank you. Hold on one second. I'm gonna go use the facilities. I'm gonna get back to this story in just a second. This video contains... Oops. There we go. Yes. From the green forests of the Pacific Northwest. I bid you all good evening, or good morning, as the case may be. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Anyways, I like that one. But let's get back to this one, because I was finding that to be one of those sort of rare moments where some things sort of start popping together out of nowhere. So it sounds like he was part of this prison break or something. Let's see. 420 of Coralville, Larry Lee, Agee, 25 of 1319 Erie Street, and Mike L. Byers, 18 of 830 East Broad Street, squeezed through the 2-foot square openings made by cutting the bars and screen, then slid down a rope of knotted sheets. So these two guys, they're breaking out of jails now. And you know why I wanted to look into this guy earlier? Is because in that article that we were reading, the very last one, let me go back to that. I was wondering if the individual that the car was sold to was the person in this article right here that they're referring to down here when it said, and now I feel confident that it is that person. It said right here, let's see, before the deaths of her parents, let's see, that's not the one. Right here. The killer, they think they knew who the killer is, but have been unable to come up with the evidence to make the arrest. Harlan says the suspect jumped bond and vanished following his arrest. Well, doesn't it sound like something that guy would do now? See, I wasn't even sure after we were looking at, well, he's robbed a few places, but now he's breaking out of jail. Okay, so I think that this guy is who they're talking about in this article right here. Don't you guys think that? I mean, what do you think? Yeah. Okay, so we see that right there. And then let's go back to this. Ford and Agee were recaptured March 6th. So that would be 1964. Let's see if we can find where he jumps bond later, though. The sheriff said, it's my honest opinion that Ford and Agee had the hacksaw blades sometime before the escape, but did not begin sawing until the week before. Hildreth said he discounts Ford's dates about the bar saw because Ford, whatever. He said Ford made this oral admission when he and Agee were questioned together after each had given separate statements. I said Agee's statement in which Agee admitted helping Ford saw does not deal with the subject of when sawing first began. Told officers at the joint questioning. Man, it's such a long story about this. Because of the angle, the sheriff said you could kick a bar and it wouldn't go out. Ford and Agee have told officials the two hacksaw blades they used were found by them tied to plumbing in their cell block shower. Ah, it's crazy. All right, so that was 1964, March 30th. Now, let's see, March 7th. This is before that. For bagging two escapees. Actually, what was that again? March 30th and then March 7th. Okay, March 16th. That's in between those. They were recaptured. They left the blades in the shower. Okay, April 27th. Sentenced to 11 years. Well, he didn't serve that long because he's out. Oh, see, God, this is just so... Everything's kind of coming together here. He probably served, what? Let's see, this is 64. I bet you he got out after, 5-7 years or whatever, and then he's out. Well, even if he served the entire 11 years, he would have been out in 1975, which is, it's actually the same year that this guy got killed. So, boom. I mean, look how crazy that is. So he might have served his entire 11 years. And right when he gets out of prison, so let's say he served 11 years exactly, and he got out April 1975. Well, the killing was August 27th, 1975. just 4 months later. They escaped from prison. Agee was convicted by a jury April 14th of passing a $103. What an idiot. You know, you pass a $103 check, but it was your escape that caused the big problem. Agee pleaded guilty Monday to the jailbreak charge. Agee, Larry Eugene 4, 28 of Coralville, and Mike L. Byers, 18 of 830 East. Ryer remains at large. Oh, so he escaped. And Ford were recaptured March 6th. Okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. Now, let's just keep going down here. Look at this. He shows up again in 1994 here. What's he doing? So that's 61. This is probably when he was born. What the hell is this thing here? The petition for guardianship of Ronald Dean Agee 7 and Larry Lee Agee 5. And this is probably him. It makes sense. The date. So he would be born in about 1940, 22 and 6. Yeah, so there you go. Agee said he went to Texas for the children after they had been abandoned. So kind of had a shitty upbringing. Here's the 1994. Man gets 4 years for conspiracy conviction. Ah, good Lord, man. A 57-year-old man, and this is him. This is 1994. So let's see. Let's just make sure. In 75, he was 37. So 20 years later, he'd be 50. Yep, there you go, 57. Boom. A 57-year-old man was sentenced Wednesday in U.S. District Court in Des Moines to about 4 years in prison on the conspiracy to commit mail fraud and bank fraud. So that's not a violent. Larry Lee Agee, but he's a grifter. He's trying to work the next deal, you know. He had been convicted of defrauding victims out of $120,000. Man. U.S. District Judge Harold Veeder sentenced Agee to the prison term and ordered that the sentence run concurrently with a Story County sentence Agee is serving. The judge also ordered Agee to complete 3 years of supervised release. As part of the sentence, Agee was ordered to pay $59. There's no way in hell he paid a nickel of that in restitution to victims and $50 to the state crime fund. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. 1977. This is what I'm looking for around in this time frame here. Riding the circuit with Judge Brown. Larry Lee Agee, case number 537. In the accounting system of Polk County Attorney, Agee came to the court in blue jeans and a dark t-shirt. He'd been in jail before and was going back. No bailiff loosed a hear ye routine when Brown came into the room. No one ever stood. But Agee said that he wasn't guilty and that the jury was wrong. He asked for a low bond. So here's what I'm saying. I'm trying to find this bond where he jumped bond, and here we go. Right, we're right in this time frame, 1977. Said he wasn't guilty and that the jury was wrong. He asked for a low bond so he could stay out of jail. For armed robbery, while he appealed his conviction for armed robbery and for being a habitual criminal. Wow, really? Man, we weren't able to figure that out. I feel I've been unduly bounded by the courts, he told Judge Brown. Brown didn't buy it. He noted that Agee had a long list of previous convictions, including, this might be the bail that he jumped from, the bond, because it wasn't lowered and he had no other option, right? Let's see. Brown sentenced Agee to up to 40 years at the state penitentiary. Wow. At Fort Madison and set bond at $50,000. The whole thing was over in less than 10 minutes. The judge was unsnapping his robe and leaving the courtroom, heading for one of his cigarettes, a Kent Green light, as 2 county jailers were snapping the handcuffs on Agee. It was a case representative of low drama that occupies most of Brown's time. Agee's case out of the way quickly, Brown headed back, or is it Brown or Bound? No, it's just Bound, not Brown. Headed back to Corydon to work the rest of the day. So let's see. So this is May 3rd, 1977. Ah! Oh! Thank you.
Thank you for everything you do, Gray.
That freaked
love
me
you,
out.
my friend, and I love the wonderful freaks so much. You're all like family for me.
Yeah, we
Purple
all
heart,
love you too,
Revolving
Stacey.
hearts. Purple heart.
That was
revolving
was
hearts,
crazy because it
Purple heart.
usually have a warning. There's like I see the image and then I can kind of. It didn't do that. Hey, thanks Carolina T too. Thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, right now I'm trying to find this one moment. Matter of fact.
Have missed you all.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. I was wondering the other day. Carolina T. She's the one that made the artwork behind this shot right here. One of them. And then Dane, and Carolina. Well, you can't really see it, but there it is, right there. There you go. There it is. Okay, so that's May 3rd. Here's May 16th, I think. No, he's not in that one. Anyways, thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. So that was it, huh? God. I feel like that's the one he jumped the bond on. And he just took off. Let me get rid of the Lee here really quick. Just in case. What's this one? All right, let me try 1978. So now he's in prison for a long time. So now you're sort of wondering after he got out. So then he this is 19. Well, actually, hold on. Yeah, so that was 77. And then that's right, because he just got out of prison, probably committed another crime. He was already looked at for the murder of Tommy Lee McConkey. Then he got sentenced to 40 years, but I think he got out, obviously. Let's see. 1978 to 2000. I thought I saw him in there. So there's the 1994. This is when, I think we already went over this one. But this is a conspiracy conviction, so somehow he got out way before the 40 years was up. This is 1980, so this is probably him as well. Coke counts. This guy, man, this guy is literally just a just a pile of crap is what he is. Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation Director Gerald Shanahan identified the man as John Craig Shelton, 32. 13th place, Joseph Edward O'Connor, 36, of 820. Line Road, and Larry Lee Agee, 42 of 3100, 26th place. Shannon said the three were arrested at an intersection near Agee's home by Des Moines police and agents. Shannon had said Shelton was charged with 1 count of delivery of cocaine. O'Connor was charged with 1 count of distribution of cocaine, and Agee with 1 count of conspiracy to distribute. Man, this guy is... So we have the 94. Now let's try it. Let's see what happens. Maybe he stayed clear after this. 2001. Then he died in 2011. So let me just put 15 in there in case he shows up. Okay. 27. Let's see what this one says. Oh, he was in prison. Awesome. Oh yeah, here we go. An inmate at the Iowa Medical Classification Center in Oakdale died Tuesday night, officials said. Larry Lee Agee, 72, died of liver cancer late Tuesday night, according to news release. The Johnson County medical examiner determined Agee died of natural death. The release said Agee was admitted to IMCC on September 23rd on a parole revocation from Polk County and had been assigned to the IMCC's hospice program. He previously had served 4 years and 10 months in prison for convictions on ongoing criminal conduct. Well, what about that 40-year? Maybe I read that wrong. Identity theft and forgery charges dating back to 2002. See, what was cool is back in the day, they'd put every Tom, Dick, and Harry charge in the, or in this case, Larry, in the newspaper, but it doesn't seem like they do that anymore. Yeah, and there he is. Man, he's got a picture and everything. Absolute hero. Yeah, I couldn't find where he jumped the bond. He could have. It sounds like something he would have done. He broke out of jail. And that's the murder victim. Oh, man, we're still on this one. It's taking a while. Tommy Lee McConkey was born October 3rd, 1936 and graduated from Runnell. He was 9 candidates. Let me see if this guy's name shows up in here. Agee. No. See, I would have brought him up and put him in here. Well, anyways, that's all I got on that one. I think that was the guy, though. I mean, it makes all the sense in the world how he was in prison and then he got out. I don't even think that article realized that he was in prison before. He got out, and look how close this is. He robs over here, then goes to prison, and then he lived over here, and then right here there's a shooting, and it sounds like the car that was seen at the scene was Larry Lee Agee's car that was sold to him by the other guy. Oh yeah. I almost feel like calling over there and saying, listen, just going through the newspaper articles, we think it's the Larry Lee Agee, okay, who passed away in 2011. Is that right? And I just want to see how they respond. I'm going to do that tomorrow, okay? See what happens. See if I can get a hold of the detective. Yep. Okay. Yeah, why not, man? I mean, it just seems like I think we were able to deduce information using logic and then looking up unrelated, the one guy over and over again, and he seems like a person that matches who they thought was the guy. And he sounds like he threatened people. He was probably a pretty violent person. Especially serving all that time in prison. And no, I'm not playing violins. I just think he's definitely a perfect candidate. Yeah, I would definitely record it, yeah. Okay. I got one more to do here. All right, this case is Mary Ann Scovel. And this is her right here when this opens. It's on that Iowa website again. I think she's 18 years old. I think this is when she's about 14. I can't imagine that her being 18 in this picture here. But that's the picture that they had. Okay. So it starts off, a Des Moines woman found dead in her apartment by her boyfriend was strangled, apparently with a chain or a necklace, according to an autopsy report. This is 1976, April 14th. Mary Ann Scovel, 18, apparently was killed early Wednesday night, investigators said. She was found face down on the living room floor of her apartment early Thursday. The body was found by Terry Lee Lively, 26. He had been living at the apartment with Miss Scoville, police said. Or Miss Scoville, probably. Let me see. I think I have her. I don't think the apartment's there anymore. 661 17th Street. It looks like it's something else now. Maybe at one time. I mean, maybe this is it. And this wasn't here. But when you go back even to 1990-ish, whatever that building wasn't there, it could have been this one, but, we're looking at, even 14 years prior to this. So it was right here, but we don't get to see what the house looked like, unfortunately. The body was found by Terry Lee Lively, 26. Okay. And then another article from that same day. This is kind of interesting. A tape recording of a telephone call from an unidentified man was being replayed over and over Friday by police as they sought clues in the strangulation slaying of 18-year-old Mary Ann Scovel. If we knew who he was, that just might be the solution to the case, said Lieutenant Edgar Harlan, who leads the police crimes against persons section. Police said the man called them at 10:19 p.m. Wednesday, 2.5 hours before Scoville's body was found in the apartment, number 11, at 661 17th Street, and there had been a killing there. Officers were dispatched, but to the wrong apartment. Lieutenant Warren Statz, who is in charge of communications, said a dispatcher mistakenly sent officers to apartment number 1. A woman in apartment 1 told officers that there was no trouble there, so they left the building, police said. Scoville's body was found at about 12:45 a.m. So police said the man called them at 10:19 p.m. Wednesday, 2.5 hours before Scoville's body was found in apartment 11. So they're trying to figure out who this was. Interesting. How would that person have even known she was in the apartment? Officers were dispatched, but to the wrong apartment. A woman in apartment 1 told officers, "Hey, there's no trouble here." So they left the building. Scoville's body was found, however, at 12:45 a.m. Thursday in apartment 11 by Terry Lee Lively, 26, when he returned. So, wow, that's crazy. Okay, so that means somebody knew she was dead in the apartment before her boyfriend got home at 12:45. So whoever made that call to the police saying, "Hey, there's a dead body here," is probably the killer. Okay, almost 100%. It's got to be. Huh? That doesn't make any sense, Zozo. Sorry. All right. Scoville's body was found about 12:45 a.m. Thursday in apartment 11 by Terry Lee Lively, 26, when he returned there after work. Lively said he and Scoville had been living together since November. Dr. Emmanuel Lasquina, Deputy Polk County Medical Examiner, said Scoville had been strangled apparently by a necklace or some type of jewelry chain. He placed the time of death between 6 and 7 p.m., at least 3 hours before police received the anonymous telephone call. Yeah, so it sounds like somebody got in there, strangled her to death, and then, if it, and it was probably somebody she's never communicated with, because if she had communicated with him before, the guy wouldn't have been so cavalier as to call it in. They probably, this person probably liked having the police get involved. Yeah. Harlan said a number of persons, acquaintances and residents of the apartment house have taken lie detector tests at police headquarters. The only comment Harlan would make on the test results was that no suspects have been arrested in the case. Police said a major question is how Scoville's slayer entered and left the apartment. They said the front door was locked from the inside and the back door was locked from the outside. Huh. So maybe they came through the back door, and when they left, they locked it while leaving so nobody could come in and quickly find her. But then, how would anybody have known that she was dead inside that locked apartment, unless it was the killer? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, it could be a lot of different things. I don't think it's somebody she was seeing or something. There'd be no reason to kill her. It would just been, a romp, and they would have got the hell out of there. Police said a major question is how Scoville's slayer entered and left the apartment. They said the front door was locked from the inside, and the back door was locked from the outside, as if they left and then locked it with a key, right? Having the only key. Wow. Was locked from the outside with Lively. Okay, now who's Lively here? Is that the boyfriend? Hold on. So it could definitely, if that's the case, so it's Terry Lee Lively. So he's the only one that had the key, and it's locked from the outside, and the front door was locked from the inside. So how in the hell would the person... Yeah, that's exactly right. So it almost seems like the boyfriend might have something to do with it. But let's see how he, if they clear him as we're reading this. I mean, that seems like that would almost implicate him immediately. They said the front door was locked from the inside and the back door was locked from the outside, with Lively having the only key. A door to an adjoining apartment was locked on the adjoining apartment side and required a hammer to open from that side, police said. Huh. On the adjoining apartment side. Services for Scoville will be held at... Let me see what's going on here. See, I don't read these. I just read a little bit of them, just to kind of, get a feel for if I want to keep the article or not, because I like to go through it at the same time. Jeffrey Calvert, 22, who was charged in the strangulation death of Des Moines woman. So this is a whole different person. Jeffrey Calvert, 22. This is 2 weeks later, who was charged in the strangulation death of a Des Moines woman April 14th, was released from jail Friday under provisions of pretrial release program. He was charged earlier in the day with murder in the slaying of Mary Ann Scovel, 18, and the arraignment Friday afternoon. Bond originally was set at $7,500 in cash or $75,000 surety. Well, you might think that, oh yeah, hey, yes, she knew the guy. Well, here's the thing is, if it's not the boyfriend, then it's a crazy story, because how in the hell was the door locked from the outside? Or, on the inside and the outside, you would have to crawl through a window or some shit like that, right? Maybe it was on the ground level. I don't know. Calvert was allowed out of jail under supervised release, a spokesman for the program. Several factors such as stability in the community, blah, 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 blah. Calvert and his wife are living with his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Lester E. Calvert, at 3213 48 Place. That's right. But apparently he lived right across the street. Listen to this. At the time of Scoville's slaying, the suspect and his wife were next-door neighbors of the victim at the apartment house at 661. So I wonder if that was the adjoining apartment. They moved out of the apartment about 4 days after the slaying, investigators said. Well, I wouldn't say, oh, well, they must have done it, that's why they moved quickly. I wouldn't use that as a reason why they moved. I would be moving too. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but it's not really that fun. Like living, in a building, where somebody was murdered, right next door, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's interesting. Then 4 days later, belt linked to teen's death. Des Moines police have obtained a belt they believe could have been used in the April 14th strangulation death Mary Ann Scovel, 18, according to Polk County District Court records. The belt with a circular pattern was confiscated by police Friday when they served a search warrant on Jeffrey R. Calvert. Calvert, 22, was later arrested and charged with murder in connection with the incident. He pleaded innocent to the charge and is free under provisions of the pretrial release program. Detective Clarence Job, in obtaining the warrant last Thursday, testified that marks on Scoville's neck show a design made by an apparent belt-like substance. Belt-like substance? What the hell does that mean? A belt is a substance. I mean, it's made of, you know what I'm saying? That's stupid. The marks were in a circular or octagonal pattern or design and are in line extending across her neck. Police said Scoville lived next door to Calvert and his wife, Patty, in an apartment house at 661 17th Street. Job testified the only access to the apartment where the body was found was through the apartment. That was it. So Jeffrey R. Calvert is the other neighbor. So unless you think the boyfriend did it, then he's the only one that could have done it. During the investigation, police said a major question was how Scoville's slayer entered and left her apartment, because the front door was locked from the inside. Why are there adjoining apartments, by the way? How stupid is that? A door between the two apartments was locked from the Calvert side, so that means he could come and go as he pleased. You see, that makes it interesting. So I guess in that case he would know them if they were next door neighbors. A preliminary hearing on the charge against Calvert has been scheduled for June 4th. And 3 days after that, Jeffrey Robert Calvert, 22. Let's see. pleaded innocent to a charge of murder. Calvert was charged in connection with the April 14th strangulation death of Mary Ann Scovel. District Judge James P. Donato refused a request by Assistant Polk County Attorney Donald F. Starr to revoke Calvert's pretrial release bond. Let's see. Keith Ewell, Calvert's attorney, argued that Calvert has roots in the community, blah, 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 blah. Police said Scoville lived next door to the Calverts and his wife, Patty, in an apartment. Okay, now this is 2 months later. The lawyer for Jeffrey Robert Calvert, 22, of Des Moines, charged in the April 14th strangulation slaying of Des Moines women, has asked the Polk County District Court to suppress 3 pieces of evidence on the case. Attorney Lawrence Scalise. I wonder if wait, Scalise. Huh. Do you think that's any relation to, Scalise, the actual Supreme Court justice, Let me see. That's Scalia. Who's Scalise? That's Scalia. Never mind. There's a Scalise, though, that's famous out there in, the political world, right? Am I just not remembering this right? Ah, shit. I can't remember. Let me see. I don't know. I can't remember who Scalise was. Oh, Steve Scalise. That's right, the congressman that was shot. Yeah. Yeah, he was shot in the 2000 and what was it, 15, 16? No, I think it was 16, something like that. Anyways, just sounded familiar. Thought maybe there was a connection there. So anyways, his attorney's trying to get 3 pieces of evidence removed. Scalise contends the seizure of the belt was illegal because a search warrant obtained by officers was for Calvert's parents' home, where Calvert and his wife live, and not for Calvert's person. Ah, Jesus. According to the search warrant, Detective Clarence Job said a circular pattern on the belt is similar. One of the tape recordings is, see, he's trying to get the tape recording removed too, is of an anonymous man's telephone call to Des Moines police telling him that a killing had occurred in Scoville's apartment. That tape, according to police, might be the solution to the case. During their investigation, authorities obtained a recording of Calvert's voice and reportedly have had it compared with the anonymous caller's voice. The results of that comparison have not been disclosed. Scalise said such a voice comparison is irrelevant and highly prejudicial. Well, why is it irrelevant? Because it's not irrelevant at all, Scalise. Because that person should have no knowledge whatsoever that there's a dead body in that apartment. What an idiot. See, these judges, they think they're so clever and they're just so, just a letter of the law type of, use your brain, you idiot. Okay? God. There is no generally accepted scientific method for making the contention that the tape recording of the anonymous caller belongs to the defendant, he said. Well, there's experts out there that can determine that. What are you talking about? But Lieutenant Edgar Harlan, at least that's what not the judge isn't saying that. That's what the his attorney's saying, excuse me. But Lieutenant Edgar Harlan has said Calvert consented to having his interrogation tape recorded, knowing it could be used for voice comparisons. Scoville lived in at 661 17th Street, next door to Calvert and his wife. The Calverts moved in with his parents. And then Job has testified that Calvert was the last person known to have seen Scoville alive, and that Calvert had access to Scoville's apartment through a door linking the two apartments. Man. And that would explain it. Here's the thing, everybody. It almost has to be this person. This guy here, Calvert, almost has to be the killer if the boyfriend has completely been removed as a suspect, because he's the one that had the key to get in the back door, and you couldn't have gone in the front door because it was locked from the inside. So he couldn't have locked that one because it was locked from the inside. The back door was locked from the outside, and he's the only person that had a key. The only other entrance into the apartment is Calvert's. Yeah, I know, Zozo. That's kind of what we're saying here. Let's see. Calvert, who remains free under Polk County pretrial release program, is scheduled to go on trial August 16th. All right, here we go. Moving on to the next one. Two voice tapes suppressed. Can you believe that? Those stupid things were suppressed. Attorneys defending Jeffrey Robert Calvert, who was charged with the April 14th murder of Mary Ann Scovel Friday, succeeded in having two items of evidence suppressed from the trial, but failed in an attempt to have a third article, which was the belt. In a brief ruling, Polk County District Judge A.B. Crouch barred the introduction of two voice tapes, but denied a motion to prevent the admission of a belt seized. One tape contains a recording of Calvert's voice that police obtained from him, while the second tape is a recording of the voice of a man who called the Des Moines police station. Now, here's what I will say is I don't know what the quality difference is. Have you ever listened to tape recordings from a long time ago? And then you hear the person now? You can almost not even tell it's that person. You know, those old cassette tapes. But you would think that, even experts back then could compare two similarly, here's what the difference is when his voice was being recorded in an interrogation, it was his direct voice to a tape, right? So that's going to be a lot clearer and a little bit more accurate. The other one was a telephone call, which already makes your voice sound totally different. And then that's being recorded. So that's where maybe there's a problem. Okay? So hopefully you understood what I was just saying. One tape contains a recording of Calvert's voice, and the other one was the interrogation. Police contend that the caller actually was Calvert. Oral arguments on the two defense motions were presented last week. But in written documents filed earlier with the court, Calvert's attorney contended that the voice tapes were irrelevant and highly prejudicial. I don't know how you can say they're irrelevant. It shows that he saw her body in that room. Calvert's attorney was also contended that the belt was seized from Calvert illegally. Nah. Judge Crouch refused to discuss his brief 3-paragraph ruling. Calvert, 22, is living with his parents. All right. Anyways. So there you go. And then I think because of that, dismiss Calvert murder charge. Jeez. A murder charge against Jeffrey Robert Calvert, 22, was dismissed in Polk County District Court Thursday after a key prosecution witness changed his testimony. Oh boy. Calvert, who was accused of the April 14th strangling of Mary Ann Scovel, 18, in his apartment at 661 17th Street, broke into a wide smile. Of course you did. Probably like a Cheshire cat. As Assistant Polk County Attorney Donald Starr moved to drop the charge. Well, at least it means it was still on the table. But Starr apparently was caught by surprise when Dr. Dale Grunwald, an Assistant County Medical Examiner, charged the time of Scoville's death while testifying Thursday morning, or changed the time of death. Okay, here it is. Starr apparently was caught by surprise when Dale Grunwald, an Assistant County Medical Examiner, changed the time of Scoville's death while testifying Thursday morning on the second day of Calvert's trial. Grunwald had just completed his testimony when Starr requested a 30-minute recess to think about some things, according to District Judge B. Crouch. Then Starr and Calvert's defense attorneys, Lawrence Scalise and Keith Ewell, gathered in the judge's chambers. Starr announced his intention to drop the charge and then made the formal motion in open court. Calvert's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Lester Calvert, began to cry and enthusiastically hug their son. Lester Calvert, president of Calvert Realty Incorporated, with all the money in the world to buy the best attorneys in the history of mankind. Let's see. They came as a complete surprise to the family, adding that the decision ended a long 6 months. Starr said later that following Grunwald's testimony, he saw no other choice but to drop the charge. I'd like to know what the difference was. You know, like what let's see. Scalise said that although he was, Grunwald earlier this year, here it is, placed the time of Scoville's death at 5:15 p.m. based on testimony that Scoville was last seen alive at 3:30 p.m. April 14th. But Wednesday, her father, Everett Scoville, testified he received a phone call from his daughter at about 5 p.m. that same day. Right. So, the death, 5:15. Let's see how that affects it, though. But Everett, her father, Everett Scoville, testified he received a phone call from his daughter at 5 p.m. that same day, and Scalise has indicated he was prepared with a witness who had seen Scoville alive as late as 5:15 p.m. So what? I mean, Dad talked to her at 5, and then, based on the phone call, a large amount of undigested food, found in Scoville's body and other evidence, Grunwald Thursday changed the estimated time of death to sometime after 5:30 or 6 p.m. He said it was difficult to be any more specific. So what was he saying before? Based on Scoville was last seen alive at 3:30. He said it was difficult. Under questioning by Scalise, Grunwald said he first learned of the 5 p.m. phone call from Scalise about a week ago. He said Starr also told him about the call Thursday morning before he took the stand. Starr said the county investigation can account for Calvert's whereabouts after 5:20. Can account for Calvert's whereabouts after 5:20 p.m. until the body was discovered. Oh, so there you go. That's the problem. So he said, come on. This is so stupid. It's, he says 5:30 to 6, so therefore you throw the whole thing out. I think they were looking for a way out of this one. I think that, the family with connections in the community. Are you kidding me? They know where he was from 5:20 on, so therefore you narrowed this little crazy window to 5:30 to 6 p.m. in 1976. There's no way in hell you were that accurate back then. This is stupid. Look how stupid this is. Now you got to be paying attention here, Zozo, because it's all onto this. This is what it's about right here. See, it says they know where Calvert was from 5:20 on in the evening. So before they thought, okay, well, she was killed prior, you know, between 3:30 and 5 or whatever. Then the dad said he talked to her at 5. Okay. And so that means there's this 20-minute window there, but then he put the place of death at 5:30 to 6 p.m. So that means they knew where he was 10 minutes before he then claimed she got killed. Now that's nuts. Jeez. I mean, come on. Back in 1970 something, you guys aren't that accurate. It just doesn't make any sense. And maybe when she was on the phone with her dad, she said, "Well, I'm about to eat now." Something like that. And maybe that's where they're thinking she went out and got something to eat even and came back, and you know, the food wasn't digested all the way. I don't know. It's pretty difficult. I just think that it's so tight right there that you might have been able to say, now, are you absolutely sure it was 5? I mean, look at, if you're saying the death was sometime after 5:30 or 6, well, how come you have that range there? Why do you have the range at 5:30 to 6 if you're so precise? So why couldn't it just as easily be 5 to 6, right? I mean, you've got a half hour that you're not precise about. So how come we can't shift it? Yeah, I think it was all the money here on this one. This one's starting to sound, this is bogus. Then it said, Starr said it was doubtful the county attorney's office would continue its investigation of the Scoville murder. Oh, great. Yeah, because you had your guy just didn't say the right thing. See, this just proves what I just said, right? Scoville's relatives were not present in the courtroom. Look at what the freaking attorney said here. It's doubtful that the county attorney's office would continue its investigation of the Scoville case. What a joke. Because what he's really saying there, we got the out. We are now not going to look into it any further. Because they know who did it. See, if they know that Calvert did it, right? So they're not going to investigate it anymore. So why not rework the timing? Like, go look at the autopsy report again. I mean, I would look at it again now, for God's sakes, and see if you can find somebody else who looks at it and can determine maybe it's a little different time frame. I don't know. That just seems, who in the hell else could have done it if it wasn't the boyfriend? Because the back door was locked from the outside and the front door was locked from the inside, but there was one adjoining apartment that was locked from the side of Calvert. Ah, Jesus. Are you guys as frustrated as I am? The prosecutor of Mary Ann Scovel murder case says he still believes Des Moines police did an excellent job of investigation, even though the man they charged was set free Thursday. My opinion of the case has not changed, Assistant Polk County Attorney Donald Starr said Friday in the wake of the murder charge against Jeffrey Robert Calvert being dismissed. I mean, I think what he's saying is we're not going to investigate it, and it was sort of a message out loud to people saying, we know who did it, but that one fact will makes it hard to forensically prove now because of that one little shift in the window. My opinion of the case has not changed, meaning we think he did it. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to direct anybody to make any further investigation. See, That's exactly right. Said Starr, who himself asked that the charge against Calvert be dropped. I won't push the police department to do anything on it, and if they ask me, I'll say you can close the case. Yeah, so he's 100% certain. I bet you the audio sounded good. And what they needed to do, that was just going to be circumstantial information. I mean, Calvert could say, well, you know what I did is I heard some noise and I looked in there and I saw her, you know. But anyways, Calvert, 22, was accused of strangling Scoville. I understand. Now I sort of get what Starr's saying. Because it's closed. I mean, they know who did it. And only because of the medical examiner, who might have got a nice little increase in his bank account the day before, changed his testimony to now say that the window would not include the time that they could track this Calvert guy. Yeah. Starr said Friday it was his understanding that Grunwald had all the information we had pertaining to the time of death, including we had knowledge she was on the phone at 5 p.m. Yep. So there would have been a 20-minute window there before, though. Starr said the first time he heard Grunwald's new estimated time of death was in court. Assistant Police Chief Thomas Teal said Friday, if any other investigative leads are developed, I think somebody just got away with it. That's insane. Calvert, in any case, could not be charged again in Scoville's death because of... What do you mean? They just dropped the charges. I thought if you drop the charges, you can still try them again. Unless, I don't know. I guess if the trial was already going, I don't know. Calvert, in any case, cannot be charged again in Scoville's death because of constitutional guarantees against double jeopardy. Calvert has maintained his innocence since his arrest, April 30th. Well, of course he has. You know, if he wants to work in town, or... Okay, and then... Now look at this. This is this is 3 weeks later. 2 dogs belonging to Jeffrey R. Calvert, 22, of 1514 23rd Street, were poisoned this week, according to a report received by police Tuesday. An autopsy was conducted at Iowa State University on Nipper, a mixed breed 9-month-old male, and veterinarian. There are just about positive it was arsenic, Calvert said in a telephone interview Wednesday. And then Nipper died Sunday. That was the name of the dog. A border collie husky mix, Cookie, who was 5 months old, died Tuesday at the Starch Pet Hospital. A charge against Calvert in the murder of Mary Ann Scovel, 18, was dismissed in Polk County District Court October 14th. Calvert and his wife Patricia were out of town over the weekend, and when they returned Sunday, they found both dogs ill. Nipper was still on its chain, and the backyard Cookie, who had escaped from Calvert Saturday, was found on the front porch where she had been put by neighbors who found her staggering around the neighborhood. And it says right here, Calvert said he does not think there's any connection between the charge and the poisoning of his pets. I totally disagree. I think it's stupid as hell that some idiot punished a dog that has absolutely nothing to do with what Calvert did. But of course, somebody poisoned your dog to pay you back. It's obvious. Because everybody with a brain out there, you are the only possible suspect. Apparently, I think they obviously cleared the boyfriend. Like he was somewhere completely... You know, he got home. We found out earlier. What was that? He got home at. Yeah, there he goes. Police said a man called them at 10:19 p.m., 2.5 hours before Scoville's body was found in apartment 11. Right here, Scoville's body was found at about 12:45 a.m. Thursday in apartment 11 by Terry Lee Lively, 26, when he returned there after work. So he probably has a 100% alibi. And also, why the hell would he be doing that? You know, they're dating. It's his, you know, there's people that do that kind of, you know, there's wild, crazy people out there, but it's not as common, I would say. Like you were just going to show up on a lunch break and yeah, this one sucks. Man, I'm frustrated right now. What about you guys? I think that'd be a good one for, that'd be a really good one to put on the Nefarious, don't you think? Because that's one of those ones that, you know, it's really, it's interesting. And at the end, you're just like, oh, come on, right? That's unreal. And it must have been the attorney just was sitting there, and there's a 10-minute overlap where, you know, 5:30 to 6 was the time of death, and they can account for Calvert from 5:20 for the rest of the evening. It just seems like such a, you know, if it was just a half hour the other way, had he said, time of death was 5 to 5:30, boom, you've got the opening. There's a 20-minute gap right there with a door right to the room. Yeah, that's stupid. Or if he just said, oh, sometime between 5 and 6. Instead, nope, it's now 5:30 to 6, which takes away your theory, prosecutor. Anyways. All right, everybody, that was a long evening there. Thank you very much for hanging out there. Sorry for Trollville earlier. You know, not sure what the deal is here, but let me just throw it out there, everybody. When you come into a chat, type in a full sentence if it's your first thing that you say. Might help out a lot. Okay?
All right. So thank you to Jessica Schubach, Linda Howell, LM as in Element Open, Allie K, Claudia Neubauer, Rebecca Green, Linda Howell, Ronnie, Claudia Neubauer, Michelle Niklas, Brianna Prost, Jay Case, Claudia Neubauer, Kevin Brown, Una Kind Art, Claudio Caspian Horses Rod, Tracy, Brianna Prost, Christo, Adrian, Allie K, Cindy Leon, Linda Howe, as in Linda Molden Howe of the Cattle Mutilations, Elaine Tolling, Kubi, Brianna Props again, Sozo, Billy Boy Blue, Stacy with a cat eye donation, Carolina T, Brianna Props again, Brianna Props again, Brianna Props again, Brianna Props again.
Hey, that sounds like something I should be saying.
Yeah, it sure does. Wow. Had some coughing right there. Donnie Caspian Horses Rock. Alright.
Yes, everybody, make sure that you wash your hands, maintain your social distancing, and wear a mask, and for God's sakes, take the vaccine when it's available. Be one of the responsible people. All right, everybody, thank you all for showing up tonight. Hope it was better than last night's show, the earlier show anyways. All right, so thank you very much, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, everybody? So until next time, be safe out there. And a 2 and a 3 and a... Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh.
And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, flag rejector. I'm a certified
Human lie detector. Gonna get you on a stretcher. You be trying to me like an old projector.
crime sector.
He's my nectar. That's the greatest quarter if you don't know the lecture. Crime director, freaking actor. And I'm always gonna be a protector. Fool deflector, interceptor. Little me know that I swing up with the vector.
On his pector, with all respect.
What the hell was that?
Just remember,
I don't know.
I'm a temple fucking checker. I have no agenda. I'm no pretender. And I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender.
Alright, man, that show was rocking and rolling, bipping and a bopping.
What do you mean rocking and a rolling and a bipping and a bopping?
Well, wasn't that what they used to say in the 50s?
I guess so, but I mean, why are you saying that? You're from now.
What's now?
Well, you know, 2020.
Oh, okay, cool. Alright, hey, good night, John boy.
Wow. You're a little bit strange. You're a little bit strange. Okay, good night, Mary Lou.
Gosh, why did you have to call me strange?
God, you sound like some of the whiners that show up to Gray's channel sometime.
Okay, well, I will try not to sound like that anymore. Okay, good night, John boy.
Good night, Mary Lou.
Wow. You know, both of them need to be on drugs. That's all I can tell you, all right?
Fucking in a rolling, bipping and a bopping and a Jesus, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Welcome in a roll. Wait.
You can't do that, you suck.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hey, you know what that's like? It's like when the professor on Gilligan's Island said, "Hey Gilligan, you can't fly." And then he just crashed to the ground. Do you remember that one?
No, I wasn't even born yet, you idiot.
Oh God, you're so mean. Hey Gilligan, you can't fly.
Oh. Okay, now listen everybody, I want to tell you about something. I have these dogs that I own that can track the pheromones from a squirrel that's upset. So imagine what it can do with humans.
You meant serotonin levels.
Oh yeah, serotonin levels, okay? want Ray to make a rap album? Jeez, that'd be crazy. I'll just get a that's get tit for that with anybody who's talking this shit, that shit. You want Ray to rap? Oh, that's nice. Oh, man. I had a little story, his name was Paul Revenge. There's me and my Wolfie in a corner bin, running across the land, kicking up sand, cheering buses on my tail, cause I'm in the man. One lonely beastie, all about myself without nobody. The sun was raining down on my baseball hat. It was getting hot, the day was getting flat. Looking for a girl, I ran into a guy. His name was MDA, I said, howdy, he said hi. Diddy pop, diddy pop, diddy pop, diddy diddy pop, diddy pop, pop, get out there, stop it. I guess by now you can take a hunch. I guess that I am the baby of the bunch, but that's okay. I still keep in stride, cause all I'm here to do is just a withy behind, singing on and on and on and on and on like a hot diddy pop, diddy pop, diddy pop, diddy diddy pop, diddy pop, pop, you don't dare stop it.
Wow, 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 Mary Lou. Wow, Mary Lou. Let me try it. Like a hot itty bop.
No, you're terrible. You suck, man.
Gosh, you're so mean. I try so hard.
Well, try harder then. Bingo, bango, bongo. Wow, thanks, Brianna Props. I'll let Ray know.
Yeah, man, that's really cool. Man, what? Oh, dropping the mic. Yeah. Mary Lou's pretty good. I'm trying to do it myself. Let me try it again. Like a hot diddy pop, diddy pop, diddy pop, diddy pop, diddy pop.
Oh boy, that's terrible. Okay, yeah. Hey, see you later, Zozo! I was told I'm just like you! Monday!
See you later, Jay. Jay's the man. Jay Case. He ain't no nutcase. He's ace. Jay Case. He ain't no nutcase.
Yeah, you need to keep going though. You need some more words, I think.
Oh yeah. I'll come up with something.
right, Gen H. Thanks, man. Nobody ever says goodnight to us.
Yeah, no, it's really rare. Thank you, Gen H. That's very kind.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I know, I was just... forget it.
Hey, good night, Brianna. You know, at least somebody said good night to me. I mean, shit. Everyone's talking to Mary Lou and John Boy.
They love us more than you. They love us more than you, Gray. They love us more than you, Gray. Diddly-dee-doo, diddly-dee-doo, diddly-dee-doo.
Yeah, that's pretty mean, Mary Lou. Man, I mean, I give you some time on there.
I know, but they love us more than you. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Even me too?
Hey, what does that even mean, Bambino? What does that mean? I would be missing the stream. What does that mean? I would be missing it. What does that mean? You're right here, right now.